Welcome to Champions Poker Live from Champions Club in Houston, Texas. 64440 Southwest or South San Houston Parkway West. We are down to the final table of our $50,000 guaranteed $500 buy-in No Limit Holdem tournament from a field of 165 players.
Is that kind of north?
We have 9 remaining.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That's that red state joke. Oh, yeah, my man. Thank you.
There we go.
Perfect.
Looks like Rob G in the 5 seat's going to start with the button. First hand of the final table.
You got to do this. You'll tell us, won't you?
Peter, the chip leader,
Remind us.
folding this first hand. And Lullaby Man, not too far behind on the chip stacks in the 9 seat.
Crazy they put these waters in these beer cans. Love you. Yeah.
KG's going to limp in here. Queen 9.
Y'all are playing way more aggressive.
We're going to be heads up to the flop. The first hand of the final table. These players are playing for $18,450 to first place. KG's going to take a stab at this with his queen high. Chris has a king. And Chris is going to move all in. Very first hand of the final table. And he's going to take it down. Chris tells us that he's a better poker player than his twin brother. Looks like he's a better player than KG for this hand, at least.
Been waiting to say that for a long time.
Who's his Chris brother? Twin brother.
He didn't give me his name, but that's the information he put on his bio sheet. He says he's better than his twin at poker.
I'm sure his brother doesn't like to hear that.
Lullaby Man waking up with a pocket pair of 4s. See what he decides to do with this. He's just going to let it go. Looks like a smart move since Eddie V has kings. Got a couple Eddie V fans
Eddie
in the
V
chat already.
Waking up with kings. It's got to feel good.
Raise it up. Looks like 75,000. Blinds are currently 15 and 30,000 with a 30,000 big blind Annie. Average stack 900,000, 916,000. Eddie's going to take this one down uncontested with his kings. Pick up the blinds and Annies.
Not the result I'm sure he didn't want, not with kings. He wanted some action, but didn't get it this time.
If you want to get your shot at playing a tournament like this, we're going to be running the same 50,000 guarantee tournament Saturday, July 8th, right here at Champions Club. $500 buy-in, 50,000 guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all are not this quiet earlier.
It's like a bad beat, man. They told me I couldn't
him
talk,
walk
so
off.
it's like a bad beat. I was ready to walk away.
Yeah.
No, they just said, they already know. I got a gift. It's a gab.
Folding around to the blinds. Chris is going to take a stab at this one. Or sorry, Peter's going to take a stab at this one with Jack 5. He's going to make it 60,000. And Lullaby Man, worst hand in poker, 7 deuce, lets it go. Got to be cautious in these tournament situations. First place, $18,450. Ninth place, only $1,800.
I might get sticky and bust you. Nobody wants to bust first.
Off. That's it.
KG with a raise at 30,000. Ace 8 off. Chris wakes up with pocket queens. Let's see how he wants to play this. Looks like an all-in from Chris. 335,000. Ooh, Peter wakes up with pocket 5s on the button.
Lullaby Man in the big blind, pocket 9s. He's going to make the call. Chris has the better hand with queens right now, but he will be at risk. Lullaby Man has 1.6 million in chips to Chris's 335,000. Queens still in the lead. Chris also having the queen of clubs, so club will be no help to Lullaby Man.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like Chris is going to double through. Makes a set on the river, unnecessary.
Still feels good, but unnecessary.
Oh, I'll take that back. And let you have that.
Chris came into the table number 8 in chips out of the 9 players. Doubling up through Lullaby Man, who was one of the chip leaders. Going to change the dynamic of the table quite a bit.
Remember that. You don't get a lullaby
When
for
you're the
that
short
hand.
stack, it's always nice to get some big hands and they hold up.
Definitely. Take the pressure off a little bit.
Now you feel like you can play a little poker instead of having to shove it.
Joe raising it up here with pocket 5s. He had 60,000 to go. Peter with suited connector. 9-10 suited. Looks like he's thinking about raising it up here. Makes it 210,000, it looks like. Eddie V, sitting in the big blind with pocket nines, decides to let it go. Tough to play those middling pairs with a raise and a re-raise. Little did he know he was in really good shape there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big laydown there, considering the situation. But I do understand middling pairs are never fun when you have raises in front of you.
Especially when you're facing the biggest stack at the table. Peter does have the chip lead coming into this final table. 2 million in chips. Triple the average.
Yeah, no one likes to be the first person knocked out of the final table, so it's understandable.
Rob G with a couple of face cards, raising it up to 80,000.
Oh, there goes your favorite hand
Oh.
in the muck.
Who would ever fold 7-4, especially suited?
He obviously hasn't talked to you.
I mean, there was a good chance to maybe triple up, but he's going to have to wait now. Oh, and Mexican Grinder waking up with a real hand here. Big slick. He's got about 10 big blinds in this spot, and I think I just shoved with that hand.
Yeah, guess he is getting a little camera time, but should definitely be a shove here.
And so he does. All in. Looks like 390,000 total. Now Rob G has a decision. That'd be almost all of Rob's chips. Pretty tough to make a call with King Jack off here.
He has the face of a man who knows that he's behind. Let's see if that stops him from calling the all in.
Such a bad feeling when you're in a tournament situation like that. You get your two face cards, make your raise, and then you just know you're beat.
Yeah, you know you're beat.
Just hoping to take down the blinds and antes and get a free orbit out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe have somebody limp behind you and flop Broadway or something like that. That'd be nice.
Well, you know, I mean, under the gun is a great position to make a raise there with the king high or ace high, because a lot of times you are going to take it down. I mean,
Just be
you know,
careful
talk about
leaning
position
on the
play.
table, because that's how I can read what you got.
Under the gun is a strong position, so if he's raising it there, you know,
What
a lot of
about
times
if I
you
lay
shouldn't be
my
getting
stomach
this
up
effect, but he
first?
actually
That's
ran to a
it. Don't
person
lean on
with
the
the real
table.
hand.
Because you know
Ace
you
king
got
is
big
gonna
old
go
rings
Mess up
in
the
there.
calibration.
Yeah, it'll mess
Full
up the
blind.
vibration of the table.
Definitely. Plenty of chips to play with there.
Yeah, yeah, a little static interference. So if you guys go against me, lift your arms up, just leave it like that. Stay off the table.
Good luck, one.
One's one.
Vanilla Lee all in with ace high. Eddie V behind him.
I'm the easy one to knock out.
Got pocket trays. We call those draggers up in Montana. You flop your set, you're going to be
I
dragging a
didn't
big
say
pot.
that about him.
Well, y'all were talking about smallest stacks.
I said one of us will make it top 3. Obviously, this is going to be him.
At least one.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I'm
He's
easy.
going to lay this one down.
Whoa.
Wait for a better spot.
I'm married.
That's good to know. And I can't keep a secret.
Yeah. I could tell. As soon as I heard you earlier, I was like, yeah, no.
Forget it.
Don't tell him any secrets.
Vanilla Ice just needs to fade the big blind here.
Gotta get you healthy.
All right. My man. Oh, even better.
Joe's going to give him a
so
call.
That's what I'm talking about. No,
He's already in the blind for 30,000. It's not that much more for him to call there, so he's going to call with almost any 2 cards. Finds out he's dominated, though.
I'm ready for you because I'm a Raider fan. 49ers.
And Vanilla looking for a double up.
Oh, that's a good one.
Flops the ace. Looks like it's going to be good unless running 9s come.
Oh, mama.
He's in good shape now.
Oh, chop.
Counterfeit. Yeah.
Nice little double up there.
Hey.
Vanilla Ice, or Vanilla Lee as it says on the screen, says he's the best poker player in Lubbock, Texas.
I mean, if you're going to call yourself Vanilla Ice, you better be one of the best at something.
Right? He came into the final table here with the least amount of chips. Gets a full double up. Going to help him out quite a bit. He's still a low man on the totem pole, but takes a little bit of pressure off there. We're going to be running a ton of poker tournaments here at Champions Club. We've got one tomorrow. Interested in playing a tournament, 3 p.m., $130 buy-in. Calling it Survivor Sunday. This is a Survivor tournament. What that means is for every $1,000 in the prize pool, we're just going to pay out that many spots. So they get down to, say, 6 players, and there's 6,000 in the prize pool. Once it gets down to 6 players, the tournament just stops, and everybody gets $1,000.
That sounds sweet.
Yeah, just kind of a fun little tournament. Should be decent turnout. We're guaranteeing 5,000 of the prize pool.
Speaking of sweet, Vanilla Lee
arch
wakes up with Ace
nemesis.
King, goes all in for
Just so you know, I
$285,000.
like him.
How sweet it is.
We're friends in my book.
Our chip leader, 7-8 suited. Thinking about it. He raised it to 60,000 before that.
You have plenty of chips, man. Some of us are trying to win this thing, and we're going to need your help.
Looks like he's thinking about giving him a call here.
I wouldn't believe me either.
does make the call with 7-8.
Yeah, I think he has to. 9 big blinds. Peter obviously has over 60 big blinds. And I think it's an automatic call there, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
Wow.
a flop.
Action flop there. Made for TV. Peter makes a pair and a flush draw. A pair of aces. Way in the lead right now. Coin flip going into the river. And the river card is a club.
Good game, brother.
And that is going to eliminate Vanilla Lee.
Talk me into it.
Vanilla Ice. However you want to say it. 9th place. He's going to be taking home $1,840 for his efforts here today, though.
As they say in the poker world, GG.
That's right. And then there were 8. 8 players remaining. First place again is $18,450. Not a bad payday for one day's worth of poker.
He says you talked me into it.
I don't think they had a game.
Huh?
It's true, though, Pete. I think it was going to fold.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was. He didn't want to start stacking.
Speaking of
And he said
tournament
the
wins,
last thing, and he's
what
like,
is your biggest tournament win?
I wouldn't believe
I'm
me.
not much of a tournament player. I did shop a horse event in Choctaw once. I want to say it was only like $1,700 or something like that. It was like a 11-way chop. It was one of those structures where we got down to a point where the average stack was like 6 big bets. So we just decided to go ahead and chop it up. As soon as we got TJ Cloutier to bust in 12th place, he wouldn't chop. When he busted, we beat him to the cage.
Yeah, he signed his death certificate at that point. When a player says he doesn't want to chop, that usually is the next person out.
How about yourself? You got a
My
big-
biggest score was 14,600, and I got 3rd in the tournament at Choctaw Casinos, and yeah, the biggest score. And funny story about that is I ended up winning another 6,000 playing a few other tournaments about a week later, and so it was a 20K month for me. And I thought, hey, here I go. I'm ready to be a poker pro. Let's just say I didn't win another tournament for the rest of the year.
That sounds about right.
I want to say the hospitality here is the best.
It is. Hands down.
Hands down, the best services.
The winner of this tournament today is also going to be spending the night in our executive suite, which is a beautiful room. And for those of you who don't know, Champions Club in Houston is the only poker room in Texas that has a full-service hotel, restaurant, and bar on property. Currently have a poker rate of $69 a night for players that are coming in for our tournaments. And the winner of this event will be staying in our finest room, the one that Phil Hellmuth stayed in just a few weeks ago.
And let me tell you, it's a nice room. When I say it's nice, it's nice. There's a tub in there. There's a full shower in there. Living room, your bedroom, obviously. It's a very beautiful room.
This whole property, newly remodeled, everything in here is super high quality. I think these are the best poker chairs that I've ever sat on, and I've been playing a ton of poker here since we opened, so it's good because, you know, when you play 30, 40 hours of poker in a week, you want a chair that's comfortable.
Yeah. The last thing you want is your ass to fall asleep.
That's right. Yeah. And the food here, excellent. Famous Chef Connie steaks are to die for.
Cannot say enough about Chef Connie. She definitely loves what she does, and you can taste it in her food.
Amen.
Did you see they added a breakfast menu?
I did not see that.
Yes, and they have breakfast burritos, which I'm a breakfast burrito connoisseur, and I travel the earth to find the best breakfast burrito. And I have to say, Connie's breakfast burrito is up there. Definitely top 3 that I've had. So,
Well, I
and
know
that's saying a lot.
I know her habanero sauce is excellent. I'm sure she's putting that in the burritos there.
I'm pretty snobby when it comes to breakfast burritos, so the fact that I'm saying that her breakfast burrito is top 3 that I've ever tried is saying a lot.
Nice. Well, it looks like we got a pop brew in here. Joe H. raised this one up to 80,000 with Ace Queen, and our chip leader Peter calls with Ace Jack. No help to either player on the flop. Ace Queen still in the lead for Joe, and he is first to act. Or sorry, Peter was first to act. Looks like Joe's going to bet 90,000. Peter making the call. King of spades on the turn. 2 of the larger chip stacks here involved in this hand. Joe came into this table third in chips. About 1.7 million to Peter's 2 million. Kind of changes the dynamics of a hand. You don't really want to tangle too much with the guys that have the big chip stacks if you're the other big chip stacks.
Yeah, yeah. That's really a scary situation when you know the one guy who can possibly hurt you or even take you out of the tournament. You're facing heads up. You definitely puts you on edge a little bit.
But Peter decides to be aggressive anyway and bet on this river. Check, check on the flop, check, check on the turn. You might as well take a stab at it. Takes down a pretty decent-sized pot here. And the rich get richer.
Definitely don't want you singing, John, because I will fall asleep.
I'll sing one of my more upbeat ones.
Okay. I'll take that one. You're a big blind, son.
Looks like the blinds have gone up to 20 and 40 now with 40 big blind ante.
The cost of poker is going up.
Joe now waking up with a real hand. Pocket jacks. He's going to bet 80,000. Folds around to the big blind. Lullaby man waking up with queens. I think we're going to see some fireworks here.
Oh, here we go.
Chip stack's pretty close. Both players right at about 1.2 million. How aggressive do you want to be with these queens? Doesn't look like a raise.
140.
That'll be 160. No, 140. because it's 40, 40, yeah, you're right.
Raises it up to 140,000.
I'll call.
So reluctantly.
Joe just going to call here.
I want to stay out of your way.
Little baby flop.
I think I'm supposed to go.
No
first.
help to
Oh, I'm
Joe.
Uh-oh.
Go this way.
Joe's gonna be in some trouble on a board like this.
It's been a long day. We'll give him one.
Thank
Lullaby man betting 100,000. Trying to extract some value here.
you. I call.
Joe makes the call, and it's the 8 of clubs on the turn. No help. Lullaby man checking this time. Now what's Joe going to do?
Just 175.
175,000. Lullaby man making the call. Almost $1 million in the pot now. 890,000 out there. Scary card on the river.
Check. I got a single
4 to a
pair.
straight, 3 to a flush.
Well, I have queens.
You go check, check.
You got me nuts, don't you?
Oh, boy.
And Lullaby man's going to take down this pot.
This little baby is going to sleep. This little baby boy.
Now we see how he got his name. Singing us a little lullaby there.
River
Hey,
cost
He's
beautiful
doing
voice.
okay. I don't think he's that bad off.
No, I said that river cost them money. 'Cause you ain't mucking if that night don't show up.
I see.
Right? A lot of things get there with that river.
Collecting some of those big 100,000
Okay,
chips.
what's that? 20.
For those of you watching, those pinkish chips are 5,000. The green ones are 25,000, and the white ones are 100,000. Gonna fold around to the blinds here.
You lost the minimum.
Lullaby man squeezing out a 6 deuce suited,
And anybody with jack force
and he's just gonna give
I remember you from earlier today.
a walk.
Doing great. But
You were there when I hit that 5-6.
I'm not dead yet.
I told my table that story.
That's the only reason I'm here.
Yeah, that's true. That was a hell of a hand they hit.
I've done well since then.
That's good.
Folds around to low by man on the button. He's got ace queen. I anticipate a raise.
Raise.
He raises it up to 100,000.
I did want one of them pretty white chips, but let's see.
And it looks like he's going to be taking the blinds and antes here. I don't think Mexican Grinder is going to put his money in with 6-3.
Let's just 60.
I know that's all. Just in case. I'm just gonna set it right here just in case. I did want
You're a
one.
good man, John.
I did want that. Remember, I'm John number 2. I want to feel like a poker player. And Mike. What do you mean?
Pretended
Why
to
you
think about it
sighing
for a moment.
I thought he gave me a hand. We could have played bingo.
Bebop, my baby, I don't mean maybe. Bebop, my little bitty baby boy.
Okay, I'll let you get away with that because I wanted to hear you sing. But
Yeah. You,
and that, I'll let you have one big blind. But I'm gonna have to fight you as soon as possible.
I hear you, John.
Ever heard that story, David and Goliath?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Goliath.
Isaac joining us in the chat here, our fearless leader, reminding us all to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Doesn't take any time at all. It really helps us out with the algorithm on YouTube. We'll be streaming cash games a couple times a week, and anytime we have a major tournament like this, we're going to be streaming the final tables. So stick around for Champions Live Poker. Make sure you're subscribed so you get notifications whenever we're going to be streaming. Peter's going to raise this one up with an ace high, ace 7 off. Put the pressure on those blinds.
Yeah, when you have the chip lead, you definitely want to be applying pressure to the rest of the smaller stacks.
Most definitely. Joe's got a decision to make here. Wakes up with a Jack 10 in the big blind. 60,000 more to call. Looks like he's going to move it all in. All in here with Jack 10.
About 8.
Peter doesn't like that. With the ace 7, he doesn't want to call a million chips.
I didn't want to have to lead yet.
Folds around to the blinds here. Joe with a 9-5. Might just have to give. Oh, he decides to move all in, putting the pressure on Rob. And Rob's going to lay it down. Joe, lucky Rob didn't wake up with something there.
Closer to me.
Yeah. Rule in there somewhere.
Yes, sir. I'll get him there.
Peter with the Jack 10 this time. Cutting out a raise. It's like 80,000.
Trying to get something.
Folds around to the big blind. KG with the suited king. He's going to take a peek. We'll be heads up to the flop. Couple of queens on the flop. One club for KG. Backdoor flush draw. And Peter makes a bet of 50,000 and takes down the pot, applying pressure.
What did I mark?
They know.
Okay.
Pocket aces.
Did I? It's okay. I'll get you in trouble right now. I don't want aces. I want the winning hand.
That's what I put down for what's your favorite hand?
Yeah.
Winner.
I said winning hand.
Oh, yeah. Mine's 96 of hearts.
Don't push me to pot with 4 high. I'll take
6-9,
it.
no, it's just my favorite hand. 6-9 of hearts. Yeah. Appetizer. They should have called that one Big Lick.
Chris gets a walk.
500,000. 5 of those. 500,000.
Lullaby man, waking up with your favorite hand, decides to lay it down.
I need to have a talk with that guy. He obviously doesn't know the value in a queen 9. Very powerful hand. He's never read my chapter. in the book of how to play like a fish.
Joe raises this one up, makes it 80,000 with king 9. Action folds around to Peter. He's in the big blind with all the chips, and he's going to make a call with a little gapper, 8-6.
Carlos Flores writes in the chat, woohoo, go Uncle John. So John definitely has a rail from afar.
Got a couple Johns on the table, but I assume you must be talking about the Lullaby Man, John Horden back there.
Right.
Joe's going to fire out. It's his flop. All baby cards. He was the pre-flop raiser, king high. Peter flops a gut shot. Peter's going to make the call. Ace coming on the turn. No help to either player. I hope Carlos tells us it was the other John, John Velasquez, the Mexican grinder, who is his Uncle John, for whom he is wahooing.
I've actually spoken to the Mexican grinder, and very nice guy. Very nice guy. Loves to play poker.
Peter putting Joe to the test here. The ace comes on the turn, and Peter bets out. It's 130 to go. Joe is a non-believer. He's counting out calling chips, and he does make the call. He does have the best hand. And we're going to see a river. Wow, a 7 of hearts on the river hits Peter right in the guts. Had that double gutter, and now he has a straight. How much value is he going to be able to extract from Joe's king high? $660,000 in the pot. Joe's got $775 behind. Peter bets $325. Joe's got to ask himself, what hands am I beating here? Oh, and he makes the call. He's going to get the bad news here. Made a great call on the turn. Not so great call on the river. And the rich get richer yet again. The chip leader takes down another pot. Over 1 million chips.
Thanks.
Lucky everybody's been ahead.
Very good bet on the end.
Yeah, of course. Lucky with them must have been okay. Put them into it.
Blinds have gone up again. 25-50 now. The 50 big blind, or ante. Joe H. making the move all in with ace jack off. 450,000. Gonna fold around to the blinds here. Peter, the chip leader, waking up with ace jack as well.
I think it's 450.
Yeah.
Peter taking a look at Lullaby Man's stack. Lullaby Man has about 1.4 million, 1.6 million, it looks like. Behind him, let's know how much risk he has here with this ace jack.
Say 450?
Yes, sir.
He's going to call to 450. Lullaby Man laying it down. Both players have the same hand. Not sharing any suits. And it's going to be a chop.
Which should be.
Nice, man.
You too, man.
Good call.
50,000 big blind and 50,000 ante, putting some real pressure on these smaller stacks now. Try to make a move before that 100,000 gets to you.
Yeah, it's always a fine line when you're a short stack. You obviously want to ladder up a little bit and you don't want to have to put your stack at risk because you may or may not get a caller or three. So, you know, that puts a lot of pressure on them to pick a spot where makes sense. Obviously, give themselves the best chance of either winning the hand outright pre-flop or at least having the best hand if it does get called.
While at the same time not being too cautious and folding your way broke.
Exactly.
And Joe's going to make a move here again with ace high, ace 7 this time. All in for 50,000, or 500,000 rather. And it will fold around to the blinds here. Lullaby Man, no threat with deuce 4. Eddie V, 7 high. He's going to lay it down as well, and Joe's going to make himself some blinds and antes before it's time for him to pay. Short stack's doing a great job of holding on so far. Joe with ace jack of spades. It's going to jam him in again. 3 hands in a row. Peter with ace 10 suited.
Around 6.
And all the chips. He's going to have to call 625,000 if he wants to see this flop.
625.
He wisely lets it go. There's a reason he's the chip leader. Folds around to the blinds.
I think it's still 30.
And the Mexican grinder, significant portion of his stack already in this pot. When he wakes up with 9-4.
49.
49ers?
He's going to let it go.
Oh, see,
I can't play that. I don't care if it's suited, I can't play it.
An ace niner maybe, right?
I can't play it at all. I'm a Raider fan.
That was a George Blanton, wasn't it Blanton?
What?
The kicker went till he was 48 years old, or Blanda.
Blanda.
Yeah. I liked him.
I never watched, I mean, you know, it was before my time, but wasn't he a backup quarterback as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
I thought that was kind of that and him playing until he was as
I'm
gray
not
as gray
up to
gets.
48.
If you're a
something like
cash
that.
game player, well, you got some great promotions going on here at Champions Club Texas, 6440 West Sam Houston Parkway South. Right now we got this bad beat deal going on. If you're playing Hold'em, any full house beat by quads, $2,500 bad beat. Any full house. You don't see that very often. So if you like poker, come on down. Membership is free right now. Brand new members get 2 free hours of play. Come check us out. Oh, Eddie, what are you doing folding 7-4 of diamonds? Oh, yeah. Mexican grinder is already all in for Jack with Jack 8. You want to be the first one to put your chips in when you got the 7-4. It's not a calling hand. It's a raising hand.
it's a hope I get it. That's what it is.
Rob's all in here for $245,000 with a suited 10. Action has folded around to the big blind. Joe with the suited jack. Probably not feeling too good about it. And he is going to let it go. Gives Rob a set of blinds and antes just in time to pay his big blind. Give me one more orbit, he says. These players are playing for $18,450 up top and a night stay in our executive suite here at Champions Club Houston. Eight players remaining out of 165. Peter with some suited cards here decides to apply some pressure, makes it 100,000. Not sure I like this move with Rob in the big blind and so few chips. He almost has to call with any two cards or shove with any two cards here. But he decides to lay it down. And that's why Peter has 3 million chips and I'm announcing.
Yeah, you know, you can't wait for big hands all the time, especially when you have the chip lead. You definitely need to apply pressure and make sure you're keeping the short stack short.
And now, Peter wakes up with kings. How much does he raise with kings? Put in that same small raise? Yep. 100,000. Just hoping one of these short stack ships on him. Lullaby Man waking up with a real hand as well. Ace Queen. One of the few stacks that can really hurt Peter here.
Here we go.
Just calls.
There's going to be action.
We have one caller. It folds around to the blinds now. Rob G with the suited 10. Only got 245,000 chips behind.
He may feel like this is a great opportunity to steal some weak raises, but
Yeah.
obviously
Could triple up here off the two big stacks, or you could wisely lay it down because they.
there you go.
Now KG, got a little suited connector here. It's a good opportunity to see a flop. And we will be 3 players to the flop. KG flopping a flush. Peter with the king of hearts. KG moves all in.
Yeah, I don't think Peter's going to be able to get away from his kings here.
Yeah. $460 is the bet. There was almost 400,000 in the pot already. Very difficult to lay that down. Second nut heart draw.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually raised to isolate to make sure, you know, in case anyone's holding an ace, you know, put pressure on him from not calling. It'd be a tough lay down if anyone did have the ace, but you have to do what you have to do when you have such a big hand such as Peter's.
Well, he elects to just make the call, and we are going to see what happens here. KG with the best hand right now, but he is at risk with the shorter stack. Peter looking for another heart to eliminate KG in 8th place. And there's the heart.
There it is, no waiting.
No waiting. KG needs the 6 of hearts, and he doesn't get it. And that will eliminate KG in 8th place. He will be taking home over $2,000 for his efforts here today.
bad when you hate it.
You played it fucking. You played it perfect though.
I couldn't do it no other way. I can't play it no other way.
Nothing you can do there. Flop that
Sleep
flush.
well,
You're just
bro.
going to have
You
to get your
played
chips
it
in.
Couldn't play it no other way. Should have waited on the season. Nice hand. Should have waited to see it was hard gonna come. So couldn't do it.
Now we're down to
I
7.
was so sure that heart was coming too.
Yeah, I for sure.
Once again,
Nice
first
hand.
place in this
Feelings don't
tournament,
always work out.
And if that
$1,850.
6 of hearts had come, that would have been sick.
And a stay in the executive suite at
Yeah, we
Champions
would
Club
have.
Houston.
We would have needed a good 5 minutes.
So what would you do if you won $18,600 there?
Well,
Really?
I don't know.
I'm probably definitely going to Whataburger.
Yeah, well, yeah, Whataburger is definitely on the list. But you know, as a wise man once said, I'd probably spend most of it on cocaine and hookers, and then just waste the rest of it.
I mean, not a bad way to spend it.
Joking, of course.
15,000, I guess.
Peter raises this one up with ace-8, makes it 110,000 to go. Well, I could use 18 grand. I'd pay off most of my student loans, you know.
Yeah, I definitely would pay off some bills, some credit card bills that I've racked up. Probably take a vacation.
Vacation, what's that?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't taken one in almost a decade.
Yeah, hard to get out.
Touch your back.
Yeah, all day long.
Oh, that's not as scary. Paramedics.
Played golf yesterday, and evidently I pulled something.
Yeah.
Didn't feel it yesterday.
Mexican grinder once told me that he's a short stack specialist. He's actually won tournaments with less than 5 big blinds going to the final
But
table.
not very far
Wow.
now.
Well, he's holding his own here. He's already laddered up 2 spots. Came into this final table, I believe, 3rd in chips, or sorry, with the 3rd lowest stack of the 9. Chris putting the raise on here. All in, 605,000. He's got king 10. Peter in the big blind with ace high. Does he want to call 550,000 more with an ace?
About 6'5". Oh, that's
No 50 is his.
I do have a card. It's called
605,000 total. Peter with 50,000 out there already in the big blind. Count his chips. He'd still be the chip leader even if he lost this hand. And with that in mind, he makes the call. Shows that he's got ace high. He does have the best hand right now. Chris looking for some help here, or he will be our 7th place finisher.
Good luck.
No help on the flop.
Mine's kind of fun for the sweat, right?
Looking for a king, a 10, or running straight cards.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And there's the 10. Peter now looking for an ace
He got up from his seat just in time.
or a jack to make a straight. 5 of hearts on the river, and Chris is going to make a full double up through the chip leader. Dealer change now.
I was just there for the
Our
sweat.
all-star dealers,
That's too much in the sweat.
I Sam.
Russ and Eben, doing a great job. Or Eben? Is it Eben or Eben?
Scooby-Doo
Evan.
again.
Eben.
I heard roll.
I know one time he, I thought his name was Joel. I think he just had a name tag with the name Joel. His name is Evan. Evan. Joel. I mean, I don't know.
Great dealer.
Great dealer, regardless.
And Russ as well, coming in now, scrambling them up.
No nine, no nine.
Not a 9 or 10 either.
Yeah. Raiders. Yeah. JJ Watt.
On the way up, though. Can't go anywhere but up. The Texas.
A lot of pressure dealing these games under those lights. Weird RFID cards. These guys do a great job.
No doubt about it. These cards are not easy to deal. Definitely larger than your average cards. A lot thicker. Microchip in between the cards so they can be read by the computer, which is on our table. So not the easiest cards to deal with as a dealer.
His look better though, don't they?
Mexican grinder here with an ace. About 5 big blinds. He decides to let it go. Not liking that kicker.
I'm not sure if he's thinking I'm going to fold my way to first place. But he's definitely going to have to make some moves soon.
Chris electing to raise with his ace.
So you
Makes
got
it
some
110
chips now. You're
on
gonna-
the button.
7 or 8, stay close.
Just needs to fade the big blind here, and he does. Collects himself a set of blinds and antes.
Rob G wakes up with pocket fours, goes all in, 245,000 on the hijack. In the hijack,
Close.
245.
now do you think he's looking to get a call, or hoping he gets it through?
8 calls.
That's a good question. I think when your stack is that short, you're probably hoping for a double up. Just hoping the pair will hold.
245.
But I guess a fold is almost a double up, so maybe you just want to win to
Right.
take the pot down right now.
Peter calls, ace suited.
Yeah, no surprise on that call. Eddie V also with a real hand here, and not very many chips. He decides to wait.
I had the same hand you did. King 10.
Rob with the pocket pair
Like, it's probably not gonna work
does
for
have
me.
the best hand right now, but he does have the shorter stack. He will be the one at risk.
Damn, for sure.
Four's still in the lead.
Oh, ace on the turn.
Ace on the turn does give a straight draw to Rob, though. He is going to miss that straight, however, and he will be eliminated in 7th place, taking home $2,400.
Good game, bro.
And Peter collecting another pot. Running hot, getting the cards, stacking the chips. And now we're down to 6. And 6-handed poker is where it feels to me like you really have to widen your range a little bit. Blinds start coming around a lot quicker. Ace high is good a lot more often. That's the toughest part to me about playing these tournaments when you get down to that final table, is adjusting your game as you lose players.
Right. You know, it's tough. You know, you're thinking one way. It's, I want to ladder up and make as much money as possible. You're also thinking I don't have a very, especially for the short stacks. You're thinking I don't want to get in a hand where I don't necessarily want to get in a hand with. But you also have to be aggressive, because you definitely don't want to be blinding yourself out to the point where even if you do pick up a great hand, you leave yourself vulnerable because you don't have enough chips to protect your hand.
Right. And Peter's showing us that aggression right now, raising with just king high, making it 200,000, applying that pressure on the short stacks in the blind. And here's Mexican Grinder with a queen high. Large percentage of his chips already in the pot. Having to make a tough decision here. Do I wait for another orbit? Lose a third of my chips right now?
Sure, eventually I gotta see if your chips
With
bleed
what they
just
call
a
the
tad.
computer hand. Beats 50% of the hands. Probably doesn't beat any hands that are raising. He lays it down.
Hurry before I
It's a
change my
discipline
mind.
lay down. Maybe that's
Hurry, just in case I change my
It's a
mind.
discipline lay down. Wants to wait for a better spot.
Almost changed my mind.
Aptly named. Grinding his way.
How long you gotta be on here, Reg? 10 seconds?
5 seconds.
Jeanette Velasquez says, "Good luck, Uncle. You got this."
All right, amigo.
I'm
Drum
sure
roll,
she's
please.
referring to the Mexican Grinder. Must be her uncle.
One's okay.
And he's got king 10 suited this time.
Where you get off this right.
And I have a feeling those chips are going in
It was
now.
fun. It was
You're gonna
fun.
do it with a king. Let's see.
It was fun. While it
All in
lasted,
for
but at the end of the
175, it
day,
looks like.
75.
Joe
That's
with
125
6-3
for me.
off. He's probably just going to let him have this one.
Fuck. I want to fold.
It's okay. Don't fold. I'll tuck you into it.
I want to.
Not very much to call, though. He may have to make a call
My chips
here.
are battle with him anyways, and I don't want to talk you into it because I don't want to go out just like him. But at the end of the day, my faith is there. I'm happy. We're going to Legoland with $2,700. So taking my grandkids to Legoland. So at this point, I'm happy with where I'm at. All right?
Wow. Okay.
Mexican Grinder says he's taking his grandkids to Legoland.
I listen. What you want to say?
Yeah.
Joe the Fold.
Yeah, he
It's a
says,
good
go
hand.
ahead, give me a call. I don't care.
Great hand.
That's great.
My grandkids, thank you. They said,
Lives to see
Grandpa
another
gets to
hand.
go to Legoland. Great. Nice. Big hand. We'll go with the big hand.
Oh, Mountain White.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Bad calls always win. But they use, excuse my grandkids, I use them so you can fool.
Chip leader Peter waking up with ace-10. Blinds have gone up now, 30, 60, 60. Gonna make it 125.
All right, let's see. What do we do, guys?
Grinder waking up with a pocket pair, but it's deuces.
We got enough to scare you.
You jam it into the chip leader with a little baby pair like that. Not this time. But Joe, he is going to jam it all in. He's got a real hand, big slick, suited, ace king of clubs.
If I call ace nine, definitely call this hand. And what is it?
Peter
I
has to
believe it's
call.
like 5. Right in there.
Yeah, 25.
525 total.
And he does make the call.
Eight calls.
Good luck, amigo.
Joe way ahead here,
Ace 10.
but at risk.
Pocket deuces.
Why couldn't you have pocket 10?
The ducks.
Kill him.
The
Kill those
ducks.
10.
And the
Peter's been
ducks.
running hot. King on the flop.
See how funny this is going to get with the queen jack.
9 of diamonds on the turn, and Joe will double up through the chip leader.
Oh, shit, and the 10 bills out.
645,000
See, now you don't
added
even
to
come.
his stack.
Much needed.
You've been telling me about it for about 3 hours now.
I
haven't
told you that. I told you that works. You know?
Good hit, Joe.
you? Well, thank you, sir.
John, I thought you left.
Figuring out I can't beat y'all.
You've been so quiet, John. I thought you left. I was going for a song.
I sang myself to sleep over
I
here.
thought you were going to sing a song when my chips were all in. You're like,
Only when I win.
hey, for he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow.
There you go. You carry a tune there,
See that? I
big
got
boy.
that. Want me to sing it in Spanish? I
Yeah.
can sing it in Spanish.
Lullaby man needs a hand. Not
Great
because
hand.
he needs a hand, but I just want to hear him sing.
That's right. Surprised he didn't do anything with the Jack-10 suited there, but it turns out he dodged a bullet. Eddie V waking up with kings,
Good luck, all in.
She moves all in.
and he's going to move all in. No surprise there. 265,000. A little less than 5 big blinds.
The only time
Adds a couple big blinds to his stack now.
Actually, I don't even know if I want him to call.
Yeah, shit. Even.
Just give me the chip.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want him to call, to be honest.
Don't forget, if you're out there watching, we do have a tournament tomorrow, 3 p.m., Survivor Sunday. 130
60?
buy-in.
It is 60.
Your chance to turn $130 into $1,000.
10 more.
Calling it a survivor tournament. The way it works is sort of like a mega satellite, I guess. As soon as they get down to where every player would earn $1,000, the tournament just ends and every player gets $1,000. We're guaranteeing $5,000 on that tournament. 130 buy-in, 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you like what you're seeing here tonight, we're going to be doing this same exact tournament July 8th, Saturday, July 8th, second Saturday of the month. 500 buy-in, 50,000 guaranteed. See yourself at the final table on the live stream like these gentlemen. Chris waking up with a suited king here on the button. He's going to raise it up. 125,000 to go. Peter in the small blind. A little bit better suited king. He's going to make the call. Lullaby man getting out of the way. Will be heads up to the flop.
Heads up.
King on the flop. I think this is going to be bad news for Chris Cummings. Peter checks. Both players checked our king. Both of them setting trap. Peter going to make a bet this time.
8 bets, 125.
That's 125. What does Chris do here? Just calls. King 8 still in the lead. How much is Peter going to get out of Chris? $620 in the pot. Peter counting out 250, bets 225.
225.
Chris gonna have a hard time folding top pair in this spot. 3 Broadway cards on the board.
Makes the call.
Makes the call, gets the bad news.
8's gonna play here.
And again, the rich get richer. Chip leader winning another pot, $1 million plus. I want to give it up to our great production crew here, doing a great job making things look good for us and sound good for us on the live stream. Every stream we do getting a little bit better. These guys are working hard all day long, setting all this stuff up for us. And of course our tournament crew and our dealers working all day. This tournament's been going since 11 a.m. Some of these dealers have been here all day. Joe waking up with a real hand here. Ace 10 of diamonds. Short-handed game.
135.
Gonna raise it up.
135.
It's at 135. Peter with the pocket nines on the button. Just gonna limp in here. Make the call. See a flop. Eddie V with a suited ace. And just 5 big blinds. Facing a raise and a call. Thinking triple up or go home. Lays it down, decides to wait for another spot. Doesn't like his own decision. You could see him shaking his head as he did it.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy, but he knows. Regardless, ace deuce is a very vulnerable hand.
Yeah, with a raise and a call, neither of those guys are folding to the raise, so you know you're in bad shape.
Right. And even if you are ahead, your hand is just very vulnerable to get eat.
Peter does have a pair here. Checks to him. He's going to bet 100,000 into this pot. Joe with ace 10 and about 1 million chips. Joe cutting out a raise, it looks like. Just thinking this guy can't have a hand every time, right?
4 raises, 225.
Raising it up to 225,000. Putting Peter to the text. Peter's gonna take a look. Doesn't believe Joe has a jack.
4 checks.
Queen of diamonds now gives Joe a couple more outs. Broadway draw, 10, ace. Check, check on that card. And the second board pair shows up. Joe might think his ace high is good now. Both players check though.
Should have. I just got an ace.
And Peter is going to show that he had a pair.
Nice hand.
Adding more chips to the stack.
Would have liked
But you
Peter
knew
to
you were good.
make a thin value bet on the river there, extract as much value out of his pocket nines as possible. With the hand being played the way it was, I'm sure he would have known if his opponent had a jack or queen in the previous streets. So I do feel like he missed out on a little bit of value there, but I do understand why he just checked it down.
I was wondering what you were thinking about.
Smallest suit, yeah.
Yeah, I think against a smaller stack, he probably makes a bet there. Joe had about 1 million in chips. That's, you know, if you make a small bet and Joe jams, then what?
Yeah, well then you can get away from it, but at the same time, you can't be scared of skeletons in the closet. You have to, with the hand being played the way it was, nines had to have been the best hand there. I mean, do you really think he's slow playing there with a jack or a queen and then doesn't bet it or doesn't raise and let his opponent know?
Most likely not, but with that check raise on the flop, he could have had tens there. You know, he could have had, I don't know. You're most likely right, but
It's a short.
yeah, interesting.
Say hi to him.
Eddie V moving all in here with ace high.
I wanted to do
Finally
him
found an
zero.
ace he likes. Ace 8.
No, thank you, man.
Mexican grinder with suited queen 10. Gonna have a hard time. I think he's gonna have to go with this with only 155,000 behind.
I'm already committed, so.
Less than 3 big blinds. And if you don't call with this hand, I don't know what you're waiting for.
This is on you. Okay? This is on you. And John,
And John, too,
make me proud.
you're a good man, John.
Just make me proud.
If you win, I'll sing.
Someone's
a
going to
little
get
bit.
help.
Just make me proud. Just make me proud.
If you win, I'll sing just a little
Okay,
bit.
it's good. That's life. That's all I was asking. All I could ask is,
King 10.
be like,
Lullaby Man promising to sing us a song if Mexican Grinder wins this one. He will be at risk with the shorter stack here. Queen 10 of hearts against Eddie's ace 8. One of these short stacks is about to double up here.
it was great playing with you guys.
Have a fun day, man.
Ace high still in the lead.
Deuce.
Ooh.
Some chop outs coming.
Oh, yeah, deuce.
Deuce for the chop.
Not the 7.
That's kind of
And ace high is going to be good enough here to
Yeah, you
double
got it,
Eddie
guys.
up and eliminate the
got it.
Mexican Grinder.
Babies, have a good
Enjoy
time.
Sixth
playing with
place.
Hey,
you, man.
we're going. I got 27.
Take his grandkids to Legoland with that $2,770.
Not a bad day.
Not too bad.
What a swag.
And then there were 5.
The dead small on this thing.
Laddering up here, 5th place worth $3,300. First place $18,450.
That's enough to give it like a great
And a
flick.
night in our executive suite
And then the deuce too.
and bragging rights.
More out.
165 players started the day, down to 5. Peter applying the pressure, 150,000. Jack Trey. Joe in the big blind with King 7. Dead small blind this hand, so Peter only had to fade 1 player in a blind. And Joe moves all in.
700.
Senses Peter was making a move there. Peter lays it down.
Make a dead button this hand.
Dead button this hand. Good news for Eddie, gets 2 buttons in a row.
Yeah, 10.5 minutes. Eight fold.
Peter losing more value there, 7-4 of hearts in the muck. Lullaby Man folding a pocket pair. He's been very quiet, folding some pretty big hands. Short-handed table here.
Yeah, it's starting to get the feeling that Lullaby Man is, wants to fold his way as much as possible.
He may have sung himself to sleep in the last one. Joe waking up with jacks. There's 3 ways to play this hand. They're all wrong. He opts for the all-in method. Chris waking up with an ace high in the big blind. He has fewer chips than Joe. Pressure is on. Now he's got over 10 big blinds. Could wait for a better spot here, but he elects to call.
You got unlucky.
Ace high
Well, we'll see,
versus
right?
jacks. Uncle Ron would call Joe a moron, but Joe does have the better hand.
Yeah, that's easy.
Chris Cummings looking for some help here. And he gets it.
He gets there.
No need to wait. Right in the window. Ace of spades.
Yeah, I got sneaky.
Needs to fade a jack. Chris Cummings looking to double up here.
And he will.
And he will double through. It's going to cripple Joe. He still has chips left, but it's just going to be a couple of big blinds.
700 even he has.
On the nose.
Beat goes on.
Takes it with a smile. You gotta admire that.
Well, that's all you can do in this game. Is get it in with the best of it and hope you win. 260,000 remaining in his stack.
It can be a tough game.
Usually.
You got unfortunate to actually run into a hand.
You got hand to call it.
And still somehow sniffed it out.
Standard.
Said, I'm
It's
supposed
standard
to
for,
call.
Yeah, standard for both of us.
I'm supposed to. I don't want to. Still knew it.
Eddie V, King 10. He's going to wait for a better
All
spot.
in.
Joe moving all in here with ace high. 260,000.
260.
Peter with the suited jack,
200 more?
deciding if he wants to call 200,000 more.
Go ahead.
Look like
All those chips. Hard to lay down
260 total.
anything in that spot. And he does make the call. Joe has the better hand, but he's the one at risk here. Flops a pair. Turns a club draw. Rivers another pair. He is going to double up through the chip leader.
There's those legs.
Breathe a little bit more life into his stack there.
No, man, I was just trying to get the fuck out of here whenever I lost.
He's trying to go home, he says.
No, I didn't have no stack.
You don't want to go home with 3,000 when you could go home with 18,000.
Right?
You were in great shape, right? One over.
yeah, it's a coin flip. Made basically use 60-40.
Couldn't be any better for you, really. I mean, I guess I could turn over 10-3 or some shit, right?
2 live cards.
Bubble out here.
Peter with suited queen here. Just calls. I think with as quiet as Lullaby Man has been, he might just make a raise there and take that big blind. I don't think Lullaby's played a hand in 3 orbits.
Check, check.
Both players queen high checking.
Check. 8 checks. 9 checks.
Check, check on the turn as well.
Check. 8 checks.
Queen high.
Queen high.
And you're chopping it up.
Queen high.
Queen
Do
5.
the diamonds.
Queen 5.
Queen 5. 5 doesn't play here.
My mistake, the 5 kicker does play. Peter's going to take this
You
pot.
gonna take that?
You should bet it.
Guess the results are the same as if he would have raised. Peter with a suited 10-7 on the button. Looks like he's thinking about raising this one up. $150. Lullaby Man getting out of the way. Eddie V with a little 9-6. Let it go. Peter applying the pressure. All the chips.
Yeah, doing what he's supposed to do. That's the chip leader. Applying pressure, taking the dead money down. Doesn't seem like any of the smaller stacks want to play against him.
I can't blame him. Even when he's in it behind a couple of times, he's ended up, you know, busting a couple of these guys. It's a good combination when you run good and you play good.
And everyone at the table fears you.
Right. 8-9 suited this time. Looks like he's thinking about a raise again.
8 raises. 150.
150. That's the other thing. When you get all those chips, you don't have to min raise. And these other guys, you know, putting in the min raises, he's making it a little more expensive, and doesn't seem like much, just one more chip, but every little bit when these guys are down to just a few big blinds each. Joe here waking up with a pocket pair and less than 10 big blinds.
All right.
He's going to move it all in.
You have to go with it.
Yet at this stage in the game,
310. 8 raises.
I'm all in.
4's all in for the
the fours are currently in the lead, but Joe will be at risk here to Peter. 8-9 suited. Basically a coin flip. Peter a slight favorite. Much bigger favorite after that flop. Flops a straight flush draw. 2 overcards to the 4s. Turns the straight.
Joe,
That's
enjoy
going to
it, man.
do it.
You too, John. Good luck, buddy.
Joe Hall's going to be eliminated in 5th place. $3,340. Peter swats another fly.
You're gonna go to seat 4. You're gonna move it.
Pretty sure he's eliminated every player at the final table. I could be remembering it wrong, but feels like he's gotten all of them. If this is a bounty tournament, he'd be doing even better.
You're 4. You're gonna be over in 6. 6 over here.
I'll wait till.
Yeah, when he gets up. And you'll be over in 8 when he moves.
Okay.
Chris scooting down here. Making a little bit more room.
80 and 80.
4 players remaining. $18,450 up top.
This one?
Yeah, you'll be there and you'll be in.
Oh, I'll be right here?
68.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good. You'll be 6, you'll be 8.
I'm still running.
Players just adjusting their positions at the table here, give themselves a little more room to play, and
Peter.
breathe and move.
Yeah, you never dead small.
Got lucky.
Down to 4 remaining.
That's right.
Peter with a commanding chip lead.
You'll be first. Read your cards.
Had the chip lead coming into the final table. I don't think he's ever lost it once.
Feels good to be the chip leader at a final table and not relinquish it.
I wouldn't know.
Neither would I, but it must feel good.
Lullaby Man playing his first hand in several orbits here, raises it to 160. The blinds had gone up. 40, 80, 80 now. Even more pressure on these shorter stacks.
Itsy bitsy tiny little baby boy.
Well, our first song in about an hour.
I miss
It's been
it.
a long time.
It's been a long
Been a
time.
long time.
Welcome back to the game, Lullaby Man. Hanging in there, holding strong, laddering up.
Here's the real question. If he were to win this, do you think he has a song already picked out that he's going to sing?
That is a good question. I would guess that he does. He's probably been thinking about it for the last couple of hours. What tune am I going to sing? I take this down.
Maybe a little Queen? You are the champions?
Yeah. 2 on the nose.
No, okay.
Peter with a couple face cards here in the small blind.
160.
6 raises. 160.
I'll raise it up. Lullaby Man with ace high. Not going to play. Peter with a whole stack of white chips now. $2 million in that little stack.
You got the chocolate martini? Even better.
Peter raising again. Jack high on the button. Applying pressure. Eddie V with 9-10. 3 big blinds.
You guys drinking didn't bring me one.
What you want, buddy?
I don't want one of
Raise
those.
it down.
Cup of coffee? You want some orange juice?
I'm good. I'm good.
Peter's going to have to change his name to the
I'm
Silent
good.
Assassin. He doesn't talk
You
to
weren't
very
here a minute
much,
ago. I
but he's,
finally won a hand. I got to sing a little.
winning all the
Been
cards.
watching you on the stream.
Heard me sing a little lullaby.
Quietly stacking chips.
Did you sing that lullaby?
I sang a little bit. Itsy bitsy tiny little baby boy. Oh.
It ain't over yet.
Putting the pressure on, man. Pressure.
Not over yet. I know you're a great heads-up player. Just get heads up.
Peter with the rare fold.
You gotta show up in front of your friends now.
That's
Blind versus
exactly
blind
what I was
here.
thinking. Huh? Next hand. Next hand.
Chris gets a walk. Lullaby, man. Jack 8. Let's it go. Eddie V. 2 big blinds left. King high. On the button. Ships it all in.
I don't think I could fold right here again. What is it, about 300?
Peter doesn't even need to look here. With all those chips, he's just got a call. In there with 9-6.
220?
King high in the lead right now for Eddie.
Yeah, okay.
But he will be at risk here, the shorter stack. A 9 right in the window, but a king behind it. Both players flop a pair. Kings ahead for Eddie. Oh, and 2 pair now. Peter just running hot, playing well. And he's going to eliminate yet another player.
No, bro, there you go.
That's it.
Eddie V.
GG's to Eddie V.
Enjoy, man. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Take
Thank
it
you.
home.
Appreciate it.
$4,330.
Down to 3 players now. Peter just destroying the table, busting everybody, stacking up all the chips.
Well, I was trying.
18,000 for first here, 12,000 for second, 7,000 for third.
Look at the ICM.
Blinds at 40 and 80,000. Peter
What?
dominating chip lead, almost 6 million chips of the 8 million in play, or 9 million in play.
You're good.
Call.
Raising it up here, or limping in actually with a suited 10. He heads up with Lullaby Man. Checking out the flop here. Applying pressure. Taking the pot.
What
You
you
want to pause the clock first? You want to look at the ICM?
If the players are going to pause the clock here,
Oh, yeah.
talking about an ICM chop.
Floor? We want to take a look at the ICM? Yeah, can you pause the clock?
Yeah, they're looking at the ICM numbers.
165 players started the day here.
Well, he
11
didn't
o'clock.
pause.
14 hours in, 3 players left. $18,450 at stake. About 38,000 in the total prize pool remaining. These players are going to talk it out a little bit. If you like what you see here today, we're going to be running this same tournament July
Yes,
8th,
John.
second Saturday
Yeah, it has been.
of
We
July.
started off together,
$500 buy-in, 50,000 guaranteed. July 8th. We also have a tournament tomorrow, 3 p.m. $130 buy-in, No Limit Holdem Survivor tournament. For every 1,000 in the prize pool, we will award one
It's what?
payout spot. Turn $130 into $1,000. We guarantee 5,000 tomorrow.
I might have
Come
to
on
get a
down, 3
room.
p.m. here at Champions Club, 6440 South Sam Houston Parkway West. Super convenient location right down here, Asia Town in Houston. We are the only poker club in Texas with a hotel on site. Beautiful property, great rooms. Our restaurant is fabulous. Come down here and try out Chef Connie's food.
So have you chosen a favorite meal of Chef Connie's?
Well, I have to go with the filet. It's definitely the best thing I've had here, but everything that I've eaten has been great. I like the Brussels sprouts a lot. The lamb meatballs. I mean, it's all good.
It's all good.
What about you? You got a favorite?
I have to say the banh mi burger is actually my favorite, believe it or not. I've had the steak. The steak is phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But I do like a banh mi sandwich, and her take with the banh mi burger is outstanding.
Yep, I agree. I like that too. There was a day that she made that instead of on a burger as a burrito with that same banh mi patty in the burrito. Man, that was awesome too.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm almost jealous. I didn't get one, and I thought I was her favorite.
Yeah. I think it was before you were here, actually. It was before we were open, but she was testing out some of the stuff, and same exact thing, just set up as a wrap instead of a burger. Excellent, though. Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
$6,025,000.
Peter has the most chips, Dave. I can see it from here. It's our assistant tournament director, Dave Phelps, there helping out with the ICM numbers. Dave does a great job every day. Our tournament director, Brian Fredes, worked all day long on this tournament as well. These guys really know how to do it.
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Lots of experienced dealers
What
and
was
floor
mine,
men here at
10,
Champions
2,
Club. This is the first year in over a dozen years that Brian is not working the World Series of Poker. He's here running tournaments of champions instead.
Who gets the room, though?
All right, looks like
want
they
the room?
have decided to do a chop here. So that will conclude today's final table. Peter taking the lion's share after eliminating almost everybody at this final table.
You think they're going to play it out for the room?
I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think we're going to watch it if they do. What I think they should do is all share the room, and Peter should get the middle of the bed.
Right.
You know?
Right. Or whatever side he wants, actually.
That's true. He should probably get to pick where he wants to sleep. Now, there is a pull-out couch. Maybe the short stack should get the pull-out couch or sleep on the floor.
Right.
The middle stack gets the pull-out. Peter gets the bed.
That'll work.
Yeah.
All I know is there's plenty of room in that executive suite for 3 guys if they chose to all share it. But whoever it is,
Well,
wish him
no,
well.
don't you give a room?
Congratulations to Peter. I'm sure he will be named the champion of this 50,000 guaranteed event.
Can I have that room?
Played fantastic at this final game.
Okay. Thank you,
He
Peter.
definitely did.
Had some run good as well.
Oh, man.
But played fantastic. Took
Yeah, well,
advantage
I'm
of spots he
from
needed to
Texas.
take advantage
I mean,
of.
Richmond.
We want to thank anybody who's stuck around this long. Be sure to like and subscribe if you are interested in watching future streams. We're going to be running a 1-3 cash game stream on Wednesday and a 5-10 on Thursday next week. This is Dan Fouts with Marcel Custis. Have a good night.